Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 4 just goes from strength to strength, folks. It seems a good portion of this season has basically been dedicated to doing homages to other genres, films, and TV shows. Episode 2 felt a little bit X-Files. Episode 3 was basically The Hangover meets Dude, Where's My Car? And no, I'm not joking, I've already reviewed that episode. Episode 4 is basically Casablanca with a bit of Metropolis. Yeah, right down to the black and white noir look and the 1940s, 50s costumes. They're even wearing fedoras. Uhura, Mbenga, and Una go to this region of space to retrieve a Federation probe, and it's a region where there's some radiation coming from the sun that makes it so there's no color, so everything is in black and white to the human eye. So it's very contrived, just so they can basically do the story of Casablanca in a very similar setting, albeit on an alien planet, but effectively it's just Casablanca. I'm not even joking. So they have to go to this planet that's under Klingon occupation. You know, the Klingons are basically a stand-in for the Nazis in this episode. And Una has to pretend to be this resistance leader and also the owner of a nightclub. You're kidding me. And the club is basically like Rick's Cafe from Casablanca, where refugees hang out. And there's even a scene where the locals drown out the Klingons who are trying to sing this Klingon song. So it involves a struggle to free refugees from Klingon occupation. It's Casablanca, but put in the world of Star Trek. So this show has done the plot of The Hangover and Dude, Where's My Car? That was the previous week. And it was almost an exact recreation of the plot of The Hangover. And then, in this episode, they recreate the entire plot, theme, and visual look of Casablanca, but with a Star Trek setting. It's unreal. I mean, why are they having to do these gimmick stunt episodes? Are the writing staff really that badly out of ideas? And these are not subtle homages either. I mean, Pike had a face tattoo the other week in that Hangover, Dude, Where's My Car episode. It was called Human Best Friend. He has a face tattoo. Why does he have a face tattoo? Because Ed Helms had a face tattoo in The Hangover Part 2. In this Casablanca episode, which is called A Case of Chiaroscuro, Uhura even says, of all the gin joints. She actually says those words. She says that line in all the gin joints. A direct reference to the famous Humphrey Bogart line from Casablanca. What? Well, like, what the hell are they doing on this show? Right, what's next? What are they going to adapt next? The plot of Shawshank Redemption? Perhaps Spock gets arrested for a crime he didn't commit, and he has to use a rock hammer to dig a hole through the wall of his cell, and to dig all the way to freedom, and he can cover the hole using a large poster of T'Pol from Star Trek Enterprise. Perfect. They can do the Shawshank Redemption. Why not? At this point, might as well. Why not do a Star Trek sitcom episode next, complete with an audience laugh track? It could be a nod to Friends or something. I mean, might as well. They've done basically everything else. They did a cartoon, a Buffy the Vampire Slayer inspired musical. Several episodes this season now are basically like remakes of well-known movies from completely different genres. And I'm floored that these are the creative decisions being made on this show. I mean, is the existing lore and mythology of Star Trek, with its 60 years of history, is that not enough of a sandbox for the writers to operate within? But it actually gets worse, if you can believe it. Why? Because the next episode is called Level 5 Transporter Accident, and it's the puppet episode we've been waiting for. Yes, the Jim Henson Company is involved in this episode, and so the crew has been turned into puppets. So it's the Muppets in space. Or is it Sesame Street? I don't know. Needless to say, the show has jumped the shark long ago, but at this stage, you have to wonder, is there anything bigger for them to jump? And there's still people who defend stuff like this. Oh, I don't look into it too deeply, it's just a bit of fun. Like, nothing can be sacred anymore, not even Star Trek. Everything can be reduced to being frothy, silly stupid nonsense for the sake of novelty. And I'm amazed there's a section of the fan base who keeps lapping this stuff up. I mean, the crew get turned into puppets by the Orions, and Spock has to save the day. And this is the state of Star Trek. If you're a fan who still holds the franchise to any higher standard to this, right, to the standards of the old shows, and you complain about how bad this is now, how the franchise seems to be basically a parody of itself, you're told you're the one with the problem, which is basically like classic gaslighting, because it means the writers can do no wrong. They produce muck, they poke fun at Star Trek with these spoof gimmicky episodes, and then when you point out how inappropriate that is, you're told, you're taking it all too seriously, lighten up, don't look into it too deeply, it's just a bit of fun. Star Trek has always been wacky and a bit silly. Because that's what Star Trek is now. A bit of light, mindless, goofy sci-fi entertainment with comedy and some special effects. Don't take any of it seriously. I mean, it's not supposed to be intellectual or thought-provoking or meaningful. I mean, putting aside the fact that yes, Star Trek did occasionally do light-hearted episodes. But the sheer volume of them on Strange New Worlds has meant that the serious episodes seem to be more the exception to the rule. You know, it's now just a show to have on in the background on your television while you lie on the couch and doom scroll on your smartphone. Occasionally, you glance up at the television and laugh at something that someone said, or you remark about how cool some cheap gimmick was, like a musical episode, or a Puppets in Space episode, perhaps. The episode ends, and you're still scrolling on your phone or texting a friend on WhatsApp, and you probably watched most of the episode, at least more than 50% perhaps. I think that's why Star Trek Strange New Worlds is so full of gimmicks. Because how else can you grab the attention of people who barely have an attention span at this point? So yeah, that's where we are right now with Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 4. But I suppose the only positive is, as we approach the midpoint of Season 4, there will only be 5 more episodes left of this season. And then Season 5 is a shorter season. Season 5 has only 6 episodes. So, basically, there's only 11 episodes left of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. And then it's all over. Yeah. So, that's the only positive. Not long to go. Yeah. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I'll wrap it up there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and remember to hit that notification bell to be notified of future updates. Share the video out there, hit that like button, take care, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.